And the bankers are calling on Congress to pass the Safe Banking Act. So, cannabis industry lawyer here with Cannabis Legalization News, and we're going to discuss the American Bankers Association. Yesterday, they decided to support the Safe Banking Act. So, Miggy,
Wow.
did you hear about this?
No, I did not. And I imagine you're like on some sort of like association email letters, right? Because you're previously banking
I'm
lawyer.
Yeah, but I'm on like the section council for the ISBA's commercial collections and commercial banking, and we were supposed to have a meeting right now, but it's been postponed till October or April. So I did not write an article for this month's periodical, but that's fine. I don't do much banking outside of the Safe Banking Act now and the cannabis industry and trying to get banking compliance. So the ABA, the American Bankers Association, conducted a poll. It's a pretty good poll. 68% of it said that people, like businesses, they favor the Safe Banking Act. And so consumers want the Safe Banking Act. Now, this was a survey they conducted with 22,000 adults in February, and the margin of error was 2%. Earl Perlmutter, who is trying his darndest to get the Safe Banking Act passed prior to retiring from Congress, said that this new poll from the American Banking Association says Americans want it.
I mean, people in the industry want it.
65%. Look at that. Consumers support cannabis banking. 65% support allowing cannabis businesses to access banking services like checking accounts, business loans in states where cannabis is legal. And 68% support Congress passing legislation that allows cannabis businesses to access these banking products in states where cannabis is legal. That is the American Bankers Association. This isn't some fly-by-night motorcycle gang. These people, they care about the 3 C's or the 5 C's of commercial banking, man.
Well, and this is also an opportunity. Like, we talked about how legalization, the lack of what we have right now, the shit show that we have, it's slowly going to keep evolving and shaping. And the Safe Banking Act is just another step to, like, maybe 5 years from now, I decided I want to open up a home grow opposed to a home brew. One day that could happen where I can open a small craft something with, like, a little deli on the side or something. But we're not there yet.
I don't know how small you can make a brewery, but there's equipment involved and whatnot. Now, that's one of the nice things. I was just on the phone with some cats that want to operate in New Mexico, and they have smaller license types than they have here in Illinois, where the smallest is a 5,000 square foot canopy. And then they have different license types over in micros in Massachusetts and tier 1 down in Mississippi coming online. That's real nice. You can start at a 2,000 square foot flowering canopy and go up to a 5,000 square foot flowering canopy. There's just so many nice little laws that are being created that allow for small cultivators. And I hope that those are still out there and they're accessible. Safe banking would really help that, because then you can access the credit markets and you don't need guys that are in private equity. Of course, those guys in private equity would probably still be there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This shit show with legalization, it becomes so money top heavy that, it's not even quality that's going to winning this fight. It's quantity. They're throwing these buckets of money into these boats that are constantly sinking and then come back up. They're not really.
But look at this crap. Talking about the Democrats, and all their double speak. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has been chief barrier to the banking bill's passage in his chamber. Recently signaled he may be open to passing if certain equity provisions are attached. I don't understand how you can put equity provisions into the Safe Banking Act, but maybe Chuck Schumer will tell us soon. Perlmutter said that he'll be amenable to revisions, but cautioned that too much in the bipartisan bill could jeopardize some GOP support, because GOPs don't believe in social equity.
That's why I couldn't be a politician, because Schumer soon has been, what, a year and a half, 2 years now?
No, he did come out with the Cannabis Opportunity Administration Act, and it was just a pile of taxes and regulations, and him saying that this will help the small businessman. And I'm like, you're requiring GMP compliance? Yeah, because like every restaurant has to be GMP compliant. No.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be industry standards is all that bill did. But the thing is, he held that bill out for so long, and it's still not even like a bill, right? It's just in its informative state, which is like, I thought you'd be ready to.
It's in committees and all that. There's never been a vote on it.
Yeah.
There's never been a vote on there's never been a vote to legalize weed in the Senate. They've never called that to a vote. It's How many times has not just the Safe Banking Act, but like the MORE Act actually say what Joe Biden frickin' said? We just watched it. I support decriminalizing cannabis. Why don't you support the MORE Act? That's all it did. It decriminalized it. Well, it legalized it. No, it decriminalized it. It removed it from the scheduling of the Controlled Substances Act. Therefore, ergo, like descheduling, decriminalizing it. He's an old man.
But just the win-win for if they did pass the MORE Act, just let alone like agricultural wise, we're not just talking recreational and medicinal, but industrial. There's so much potential for the plant. It's just we don't get a touch, even a drop of it. What we've seen so far has just been this man-made, fabricated just use for like smoking and dabbing, right? Or edibles. We got this limited perception of what this plant is. It could be in your tire. It could be the fuel in your car. It could be there's so many things it can be, and it's faster to grow than the goddamn trees that we use for paper. And it can be used for paper.
Seriously. Yeah, you could be using it for paper. You could be that's things that I really have me excited what they're going to be using for in like 20 years, because carbon can be done with a lot of things and 3D printable substrates. And then not only that, graphene batteries, and not only that, building materials in those 3D printable substrates. So modular houses completely made out of hemp and printed, made here in America. Like, we don't have to go to Sweden for IKEA. We have our own hemp that we can use to create whatever the heck we want. But those types of technologies, they don't exist. They're a decade or two away.
Well, like you said, made in America. That's the funniest thing. Like right now, the cannabis so-called recreational market is the only 100% pure American market, unless people are buying their containers from China.
It's not just 100% American. It's like local. You can't have the interstate stuff. And so it's not like, it's that. Of course, California's like, watch me, bro. But maybe also Michigan, Maine. But still, slippages aside, there are rules about so the stuff that we grow in Illinois, we have to sell in Illinois. You're not allowed to export it. Same with Michigan. Technically, same with California and all those other states. But that's the gray market. The size of the illicit market is still like 2/3 or 3/4 of the actual market.
In the illicit market or the traditional market, it's still one that's just very ambiguous. Like people are getting bunk, probably even hemp it sometimes because they can't get it tested. They don't know exactly 100% the source. All you're trusting is a bro, right? It's like people who do cocaine during the pandemic, but yet they won't take the vaccine shot. It's like you trust your homeboy pharmacologist guy, but not like an actual scientist who's been, years of teaching and trying to understand. Like I can't understand substrate. I don't know unless it's like RF air shit. Like imagine
you know it. I tell you what, but I'm glad to see that the only 15% of people oppose the Safe Banking Act. So like seriously, we're talking that 85% of people either support or don't care about the Safe Banking Act, and it still doesn't exist. And if that doesn't blow your mind, we are quickly approaching 20 past the hour. So get your mind-blowing accessories so that you can, just kind of remember that it's 2022 and nothing has happened in federal cannabis policy in 52 years. And then you can pop this thing way back up then. It's now like people are like getting up to go to the bathroom.
Oh, there you go. It's like the theater.
They're done. They're just checking